Alright, how's everybody doing? This is Sean Hopkins from Hopkins Armor Holdings. This is a review of a Colt AR-15A3. The reason why I wanted to do this review was because I just ordered some ammunition, and I've got another video up. I ordered PMC X-Tac 5.56 XP193 55 grain full metal jacket ammunition. Now what I have been shooting in the gun is .223 PMC ammunition, brass case, boxer prime, 55 grain full metal jacket bullets. The PMC X-Tac is also 55 grain full metal jacket. But there's a lot of questions on YouTube as to what can I safely shoot in my gun. Now, looking at the gun, and it's going to be hard to tell, but right here it says .223. That's on the lower receiver. But if you look, and this gun is safe, I made sure that nothing's in it, it's not loaded. But if you look at the top of the barrel, just forward, right here, there's a stamping. And if it says 5.56, then you can shoot 5.56 ammunition in that barrel. Whatever is stamped on the barrel is what the rifle is chambered for. So in this case, it is safe to shoot 5.56. Also, and this is straight from Colt firearms manufacturer, you can also shoot the .223 and the 5.56 in this rifle. If the barrel would have been stamped .223, it would not be safe to shoot the 5.56 in the .223. Even though they look the same, there are differences in the cases. If you will look at the back of the PMC box, right here, it says PMC 5.56 ammunition is only to be used in a rifle labeled 5.56 millimeter and must not be used in those rifles labeled .223. Now, it doesn't matter what is on the lower receiver. The lower receiver can say .223, it can say 5.56, it can say .223/5.56, it can say .223-5.56, doesn't matter. It only matters what the top receiver and barrel is marked. Mainly the barrel. So if you see that marking on the top of the barrel, if it says 5.56, you are cleared. Just shoot both 5.56 and .223 in that chamber. You cannot reverse it. If the barrel is marked .223, you can only shoot .223 in that barrel. This is what I learned from Colt Manufacturing. It's something that I didn't really think too much about, because I always thought that what was on the receiver was what was on the barrel. This is also a review. This is my new scope. It's a BSA red dot with an integral laser in the base. So it's got a red dot laser. The scope is red dot, and it's also got a tactical flashlight that's actuated by a pressure switch. You'll have to forgive the shaky camera. The Colt AR-15 was originally purchased because I'm a police officer, and it says restricted military, government, law enforcement, export use only. But now, since they've done away with the ban that stopped everybody from owning these, just about anybody can own a Colt AR-15A3 that used to be a government, law enforcement, export only rifle. I'm not too crazy about the flashlight being up on top. I'm going to get a different attachment up here for the bayonet lug, so that I can move the flashlight from here to the bayonet lug. I'm also going to get a different sight that collapses down so that the laser can go straight. I don't want to put a riser on here, because then if I put a rear sight for the iron sight back on here, it'll mess it up. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a front sight that folds down so that the laser will go straight across it. Everything else is going to be the same. Eventually I may put in the paperwork through the ATF to have this rifle registered as a short-barreled rifle, so that I can get this down to a 14.5-inch barrel, so that if I do put a bayonet on here, no other purpose than to make it look fine. When you put a bayonet on here, the bayonet actually stops about here. So other than that, there's no reason to have a bayonet. There's no purpose whatsoever. But I do like the fact that if I do get it registered as a short-barreled rifle, I can get it registered with a 7.5-inch barrel, a 10.5-inch barrel, a 12-inch barrel, a 13, 14.5-inch barrel. I can even put a 16-inch barrel on here again. Anything that's, you know, for the short-barreled rifle will work, as long as you go with the smallest measurement possible. If you go with a 10.5-inch barrel and that's what you register the rifle as, and then you put the 7.5-inch pistol barrel on here, I do believe you're in violation of ATF and federal law. So you have to go with the smallest amount possible, the smallest barrel, and then you can still keep it. You can go up from that point, but you can't go down. The same thing with the flash suppressor. If I want a flash suppressor for this one, I'm going to buy a 308 can to stick on here and just get a reducer to the 223. Otherwise, if you buy a 223, you're stuck with a 223, and if you want to buy something for a 308, then you have to get another suppressor and you have to pay another tax stamp. So always remember, when buying suppressors, you want to buy the largest suppressor possible, but still be able to reduce it down. Don't go out and think you're going to buy a 50 caliber suppressor and be able to use it on 50 caliber 308 and everything. I don't think it'll work that way, but a 308 suppressor for a rifle will work on a 223. But there's no sense in having a 308 suppressor if that's all you're going to put it on. Why not put it on the 223, the 243, the 273? Let's do it that way. Or you can go with a 30-06, put it on a 30-06 as well. But here, this is a product review for the AR-15 A3 rifle, chambered in 5.56. That's what the barrel is marked. That's what the chamber on this rifle is, but the receiver is marked .223. I called Colt Firearms Manufacturer today. They said as long as the marking on the barrel is 5.56, that tells you what your chamber is chambered for. Doesn't matter about what the receiver is. You're good to go to shoot both the 5.56 and the .223. Have a good day.